programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
2 in 5 people already experience water scarcity. That's going to go to 3 in 5 by 2025.
Your Water Footprint. Interview with Stephen Leahy, vegetarian, part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Talofa means hello in the Samoan language. I am Tusi. The people of Samoa invite you to join the Circle of Compassion and radiate the eco-friendly concept to every corner of the world. We are delighted to have you join us for part 1 of a 2-part series entitled Your Water Footprint, interview with Stephen Leahy, vegetarian. Stephen Leahy is an international environmental journalist from Canada. He has written for major publications, including National Geographic, The Guardian, Interpress Service News Agency, IPS, NZIA, Al Jazeera, New Scientist, and many more. In 2014, he released his book, Your Water Footprint, the shocking facts about how much water we use to make everyday products. Filled with informative graphics, the publication won the Lane Anderson Award for Best Science Writing in Canada. For his work in documenting climate change impacts and solutions, Stephen Leahy also earned the Sustainability Environmental Achievement and Leadership SEAL Award for environmental journalism in both 2018 and 2019. We had the honour to have Stephen Leahy join us and speak about his work.
I'm a journalist who covers environmental issues. So I write about climate change, I write about pollution, and I write about water issues. Most recently, I have a book out on how much water it takes to grow food, how much water it takes to grow clothing, how much water it takes to produce electronics, how much water we consume in our daily lives. Roughly, in North America, 8,000 liters a day is how much water each person here consumes. The name of the book is Your Water Footprint, and it's a book that's won several awards, including the Best Science Book in Canada. It has infographics to demonstrate to people in a simple and easy way how much water goes into almost anything we use. Water is our most important resource. It's far more important and useful than oil. We all need at least a liter of water a day to survive, but what we don't realize is we need water for everything else we have in our lives. So our entire societies are based on water. So we need water to make furniture. We need water to produce electricity. We need water for food, for clothing, for all of the material goods we have. There isn't anything that isn't made with water.
So what does water footprint mean?
Water footprint is the amount of water that it takes to make something. So for instance, the cotton shirt I'm wearing takes about 8,000 liters to make. The water in that 8,000 liters comes from the water it took to grow the cotton, the water it took to process the cotton, clean it, the water it takes to dye materials, the water it takes to ship the cotton from the country it was made to the store here in North America. The term comes from a Dutch scientist, so in the Netherlands, the University of Twente. They came up with this idea of figuring out how much water it takes to make things, and they called it your water footprint. It's similar to the carbon footprint idea.
Being aware of our water footprint and how to curb it is especially important as water scarcity increases worldwide.
And this is one of Cape Town's main sources of water, a source
to run out of water. Officials in Cape Town, South Africa say
the city has entered a phase where it is anticipated the real possibility of day zero.
Cape Town's flirtation with day zero brought the apocalyptic future promised by Hollywood producers crashing into our realities. And last month, Shimla gave India its own Cape Town moment. But according to the latest report by Niti Aayog, this is just the tip of the iceberg. With 75% of households still without access to drinking water at their premises, India is ranked 120th out of 122 countries on the Quality of Water Index. Today, 600 million Indians are living under extreme water stress. This means they are unable to meet their human and ecological demand for fresh water. What complicates matters is, this region produces 20 to 30% of the country's food and threatens national food security. Additionally, 54% of India's groundwater wells are declining. Of the accessible water, 70% is contaminated. And as a result, 200,000 people die every year due to inadequate access to safe drinking water. While more than 90% of the urban population has had access to basic water since the year 2000, by 2020, 21 major cities including Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad are expected to run out of groundwater, affecting 100 million people. By the year 2030, demand will be double of the available supply, and 40% of the population will not have access to drinking water. And by 2050, 6% of GDP will be lost due to the water crisis.
Water scarcity is a growing problem. 2 in 5 people already experience water scarcity. That's going to go to 3 in 5 by 2025. Water scarcity produces a huge amount of problems, not least of which is the inability to grow enough food to support your family. So droughts have become more and more common. They last longer, they're more intense. This is a big part of climate change, but it's also the way in which we use water. We use water in poor ways generally around the world.
All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace, free for download at crisistopeace.org. We'll take a few moments to consider how we may reduce our water footprint. We'll return soon after a brief message here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Your Water Footprint, interview with Stephen Leahy, vegetarian, part 1 of 2. Stephen Leahy warns that governments must prioritise reducing our water footprints and take steps to address the most water-intensive activities, namely agriculture and animal livestock raising.
For example, in Egypt, they grow oranges for the European market. While Egypt is a very dry desert country, it doesn't have enough water to produce its own food, but they have a gigantic export market for oranges. It takes about 80 liters of water to produce one single orange. So there's a tremendous amount of water Egypt is actually sending to Europe in the form of oranges. That's just one example. This kind of thing happens all over the world, where places that are dry are using their water resources to earn money rather than supporting their own population. Governments aren't aware of the water footprint concept generally. They're generally, again, unaware of how much water it takes to do anything, to make anything, how much industries and our entire lifestyle is reliant on water. They are seemingly not taking this into account when they make decisions about what industries they get into, what kinds of products they produce. Water is often at the very bottom of their concerns until they run out, and then everybody gets upset about water. And then they look for more. Very rarely does anybody say, well, can we do this? Can we make this thing using a lot less water? And in almost every case we can, if we took the time to do so. But we have this idea we can always get more water, and that water should be cheap. We should not even have to think about water. And yet, it's the most valuable resource we have. So agriculture takes about 70% of the world's water use. So of all the water that we use as a species, agriculture accounts for 70% of it. So that's obviously a gigantic amount of water. Obviously all plants need water, and animals that eat plants obviously need water. So the question is, are we doing the best type of agriculture that minimizes their water use? In almost in every case, we're doing the wrong things when it comes to our water use in agriculture. From irrigating deserts, where most of the water is wasted, to this emphasis on meat production, which is much more water-intensive way of producing food than just simply growing crops and grains and fruits.
We extend our deep gratitude to Stephen Leahy for sharing such important research on how we can and must treasure our precious water supply. We look forward to hearing more on how we can protect and preserve our life-sustaining planet in the next episode. For more information on your water footprint, please visit stephenleahy.net. Noble viewers, it's been a pleasure to have your company today. Join us again on Friday, September the 18th for part 2 of Your Water Footprint, interview with Stephen Leahy, vegetarian. May heaven fill your days with joy, and may the love and peace of God be with you always.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/UL.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/UL.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/UL.
Naše programy nabízejí více jazyků. Prosím navštivte suprememastertv.com/schedule a suprememastertv.com/UL